All right.
I got 6 p.m.
6
Okay,
on the
everybody
nose.
ready?
Yeah, we're recording.
Okay, I'd like to call the order of the regular monthly meeting of the Hamilton Local School District. Call the roll.
Mr. Obert,
Present.
Mr. Sewell,
Present.
Mr. Dahmer,
Present.
Mrs. Clark,
Present.
Mr. Shooty.
Present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag.
to the flag
Of the United
States
States of America,
To
and
the
the republic for which it stands,
one
one nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible,
and justice.
liberty and justice for all.
Okay, section 2, I need a motion to adopt the agenda. So move.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Obert,
Yes.
Mr. Sewell,
Yes.
Mr. Dahmer,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
and Mr. Shooty.
Yes. Section 3, public participation, we have anybody?
We have none.
Section 4, board reports, Mr. Obert.
I don't have too much to report. It's just a mess. I know everybody's doing what they can possibly do. I'll be glad when this year's over. I know 21's going to be better.
Amen.
Okay. Mr. Dahmer.
Yes. First things I just want to say, congrats to all the fall athletes who received league, district, or state honors. I know Malcolm Denny just got a honor here within the last week for All Ohio. Secondly, I just want to say thank you to everybody for adapting back to the full virtual. I know it's not what everybody necessarily wanted, but it was something that we had to do at the time due to the way things were going in the area. Hopefully everyone's staying safe, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Dahmer. Mr. Jeff Sewell.
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. Just on like the liaison portion side, I just want to reiterate some of the things that I'd said in some in the past meetings. The OSBA liaison director always states the fact that you should be thanking these kind of singled out certain people within your district as far as employees. At this time, I just really would like to thank everybody throughout all our district, whatever capacity they may hold work-wise. We appreciate all you've done. Like Wally said, it's been a mess. But we thank everybody in every building for what they've done. I want to thank the students for being patient with us as we try to make these decisions, and the community as well. And it's about all I have to say as far as the liaison side. And with that, 2020's, we're in that last month. I know we're all looking forward to a new year. So let's hopefully next year we can get it started, and things will get better throughout the year for us. So as Mr. Dahmer said, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody. And that's all I have, Mr. Shooty.
Okay, thank you. Mrs. Clark.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'll start with a quick legislative update and tell you that not much has changed on anything that I spoke about since November. There hasn't been any action really taken, so we still need action to be taken in this last week that we have of the lame duck session, if there's going to be any changes to our school funding system in this session. it's looking less and less likely. Actually, I take that back. There was the change and it did pass the House in a bipartisan fashion, but it's not looking like it's going to be even taken up for a vote in the Senate, unfortunately. So our senator here, Tina Maharoth, is supportive of it. So you can call her and let her know that you support it as well, but she already is, but it's not up to her at this point. So we'll see if we can get any action there. And same with Senate Bill 358. There's been no movement since the last school board meeting there. Other than that, I want to reiterate what my fellow board members have said as far as thanking everyone, our students and our staff, for transitioning so smoothly to the remote learning as smoothly as possible. We know it's difficult for everyone, but we are making decisions trying to put health and safety as a priority. And so I think, as everyone else has said, the world is a mess right now, but in the mess, our staff and students seem to be like holding it together miraculously and just doing a phenomenal job. And I'm so thankful for that and for them. So that concludes my report.
Okay, thank you. And for me, I agree with my fellow board members. Big deal is vaccines out, but don't let up. Continue to wear the mask, continue to social distance, continue everything that the governor and the medical people are telling us. So let's continue the fight. We're doing the best we can. And hopefully come the new year, we can be back in school to some degree, and life maybe in the next year will get back to normal. Thank you. Section 5, treasurer's.
Hey, Dave, real quick, we do have a vote here in 4 just to appoint a president pro tem for next month.
Okay, I didn't.
Yeah,
write
no
that.
worries.
Okay. I need a motion for president pro tem for the January meeting, an organizational meeting, which is.
I apologize.
I
That's
just
for
need a
the
motion. I
January
believe
meeting.
they put me down on there for to do
Right.
that. I just need a
Yep,
motion.
I move for Dave Schutte to serve in that capacity January meeting.
I second that.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Obert,
Yes.
Mr. Sewell,
Yes.
Mr. Donner,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
and Mr. Schutte.
Yes. Abstain, I guess, whatever.
Can I,
Section-
Dave, can I say something here?
Yes, sir.
Can you see me?
Yes.
Can everybody see me?
Yep.
I don't have any of you on my screen.
You're perfect on our end.
Yeah, we can see you.
I don't see anybody. I don't see any agenda. I hear everybody, but I don't
In
see
the
it.
top right-hand corner up by where you would exit out of Zoom, does it have it on speaker view or gallery view? Or if you click that, does it help?
Nope, I don't. It just says your meeting should start in a few seconds. Okay, well, let's continue on.
Well, hopefully we don't lose you on our end. So did we take a vote?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, so we're in the section 5.
Yes.
Okay, treasurer's report.
I just got one thing. It's kind of just a FYI. Kim and Sarah in my office completed the Ohio Attorney General Sunshine Law Training Program. And it's required by Ohio Revised Code. So they just both did it this year on November 19th. So I just want to let the board know that we are following the rules of Ohio Revised Code for that. That is all.
Okay, thank you. Section 6, financial. We have 3 items. I need a motion.
A bit.
I need a second.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Obert,
Yes.
Mr. Sewell,
Yes.
Mr. Dahmer,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
and Mr. Shooty.
Section 7, Superintendent's Report.
Yeah, thank you, President Schutte. I'll try to be brief here this evening, just touch on a very few items. Just cut to the chase and get to the thing that everybody wants to hear is, ultimately, when are we coming back? At this point, we're looking at 2 dates as our most likely options. We're looking at January 4th, which would be the first day back after holiday break as scheduled. And then we're looking at January the 19th. That's actually the first day of our second semester. We're going to kind of monitor this throughout the rest of the week, and I'm going to do my best to try to make a decision on this before we head off into the holidays. Obviously, want to get back as soon as we possibly can, but we did see an uptick after the Thanksgiving holiday, so one might assume that could happen after the Christmas break. So I don't know. We're going to look at those things, but as I stated at the beginning when I was talking with Jeff there, that idea of fluid and flexible, everybody out there, just bear with us. That's our plan at this time. We're kind of looking at those 2 dates, but as we all know, circumstances could dictate otherwise. But we absolutely want to get back. I think it is important for folks to understand why we are fully virtual currently, and it just simply became a matter of staffing. We just got into a situation where we didn't have enough staff here specifically in transportation, but we were stretched in a number of areas with the amount of people that we were having getting quarantined and such. It just became a situation where I didn't have enough people here to really safely supervise the kids. And that's what it boils down to. But there have been some changes to the quarantining procedures now. It was that if you were in a quarantine, you were an automatic 14 days in quarantine. Now with a negative test, you can return after 7 days. That's going to cut for most of our staff that time in half. So the ability to get somebody back in quickly, I think that's going to really benefit our operation when we come back and hopefully keep us in session. So, but the health department is absolutely in support of us being in a 50-50 model. For me, it was just a staffing issue, but we're getting there. Next thing, I want to thank Mr. Payne. He's on this call here. I want to thank Vince for all his work yet again with our Christmas assistance program. That's something that's near and dear to my heart. I love the way that our staff here engages in, just trying to make somebody's holiday season better, trying to help some of our less fortunate family members around here. And I want to thank everybody who donates their time, effort, resources, everything. But Vince is really kind of the point person on this every year. He's kind of the driving force behind it. So I want to thank him by name, but I greatly appreciate everybody's efforts in that. And I know we've got some big days coming up here in the next few days. We're going to be distributing a lot of that. So just thanks to everybody who participated. Finally, I want to give a shout out to 2 staff members that are going to retire. They won't return here after we come back from the holidays, and that's Roger Hallam. Roger's a custodian at the high school. I believe Roger is in year either 27 or 28, but Roger's been a longtime employee here with the district. And Robin Mickens, secretary at the middle school, was secretary when I was over there. I think Robin's been with us 18 years, and both of these 2 have been longtime Rangers, done an outstanding job for us, and they're going to be very missed. So President Schutte, that concludes my report for this evening.
Okay, thank you. We're on to section 8, educational. I have 1 item. I need a motion.
I move.
Can't.
Any questions or comments?
This is the agreement, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, on just a short on changes on 10.1 and 10.2, who desired those and what was the thought behind it?
Let me get in there real quick, Wally. Hang on.
Okay.
Okay, that's just a change in statute. That was a change in statute about 1.5 years ago. We negotiated that as part of an MOU. So all that was just capturing the MOU language that we've been operating under for the last about 1.5 years.
Okay, is that where we went from posting for 3 days down to 2 days?
That's a part of it. The biggest piece to it is just the employment piece. As far as it used to be for continuing contract purposes, that an employee would have a 1-year contract as initial, then a 2-year, and then after that 2, they'd be eligible. Now, and this is per statute, we have no say-so in this. It is a 1, 2, 2, 2, and then you're eligible. So basically after your 7th year of employment. So it really is those two things there.
Okay, and the other, I see that we dropped Article 30 and made it 29. It looks like we wrote out 29 altogether. When did we do that? Is that something?
Yeah, so that's the Janus decision. That's the thing that basically makes it so that you can't have, closed shop anymore. People have the ability to opt out and choose not to pay fair share if they choose to. So that was another statute piece that all of that had to come out.
Okay. All righty. That was my two questions. I
Yep.
didn't realize that fair share was disqualified.
Yeah, it was a federal thing. I'm trying to remember, Wally, if it was last year. I want to say this goes back 2 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's finally going to be completely out then.
Correct. We've been operating under that for this year, or actually for the last, I guess, year and a half. But now that we're approving a new contract, the things that we had previously MOU'd are now just being captured, if that makes sense.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries.
Any other questions? Hearing none, call roll.
Mr. Obert,
Yes.
Mr. Sewell,
Yes.
Mr. Dahmer,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
and Mr. Shooty.
Yes. Section 9, we have 3 items. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Obert,
Yes.
Mr. Sewell,
Yes.
Mr. Dahmer,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
and Mr. Shooty.
Yes. Section 10, we have 1 item. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Yes.
Okay,
We're on 10, right? This is the
The
participation in
athletics. Mhm.
sports. First a question. Did the guidance, has there been any updated guidance from the Franklin County Department of Health telling us that it's safe to consider resuming extracurriculars at this time?
There has not. The health recommendation expires on the 18th. They have not yet taken action to extend that or not extend that. But basically what's happened in our region is that everybody has returned to play at this point. We actually stopped all activities there for a period of time. We're currently not even practicing. I think we're in the extreme minority of schools that did not practice during that time. Most places continued practicing, but the OCC took a vote on this Friday and voted to return to play. Columbus Public's announced that they're coming back as well. Our league has never stopped. Our league has been playing. So basically we're in a situation where athletics is moving on without us. And, my goal throughout the whole process has been to try to provide our kids with opportunities. And if families don't feel safe, we understand, obviously, folks not participating in that. But when somebody asks, look, why are our kids not able to do this, but everybody else seems able to, it's kind of a difficult question to answer. So, yeah, I'm advocating that we come back and operate much the same way we did in the fall. Those guidelines haven't changed. If anything, we've revamped some of those things, try to make them better, learn off of things that we did in the fall, but we had a very successful fall season. If obviously we have cases, if we have quarantines, those things, which, again, we had that during the fall. We did have to shut down. It was our soccer program for a couple of weeks. We had an athlete become a case, but then no one else became a case from that athlete. We've been pretty successful with that so far. So it'd be my recommendation that we allow our kids to return.
Okay, that's my only question, but if I may, Mr. President, speak against the motion.
Okay,
I am against the motion, although I understand wholeheartedly where Mr. Tyler's coming from as far as the rest of our league moving on without us and our community, the surrounding areas continuing to practice and join back in. There's a couple of things. One, the Franklin County's public health recommendation that we do not, have extracurricular at this time is a huge thing for me. Two, even if that hadn't been said, just looking at the data ourselves, we are being tasked unfairly, in my opinion, but we are being tasked as a local school board and as local administrators to make decisions that are way above our pay grade, using the guidance from all of these different sources. But as we've learned over the time, the guidance has changed, and the same data has been looked at different ways and used to make different points, and it can be very difficult and confusing. But what we do know is that when we made a decision to return to playing sports in August, it was a difficult decision then, and we did it. And I voted against it, as you all know, but I don't necessarily think it turned out to be as bad as it could have been. But at that time, we were, according to our state county guideline reporting or whatever, we were in orange, and we had 95 cases per 100,000 in our county. And we were averaging 80 new cases, was the 7-day average, 80, and 95 per 100,000. And now, at this point in time, most recently, we're at 726 cases per 100,000 in our county, and we're averaging 796 cases every 7 days for our 7-day average. And so even if we thought it was safe in August to do this, we're like 8 plus times higher transmission wise than we were then. And we went from orange to red to purple, and that's kind of when the switch flipped and everybody pushed pause. But just because we went back to red, when we were purple, our case rate was lower than the 726 per 100,000. But that system is not designed to be solely a system, to make decisions about schools necessarily. We know that. But it's designed to be an alarm system for things are going really bad and things are on a trajectory that is snowballing out of control. And so just because we went back down to red doesn't mean that things are improving. They're not improving. It's just that we aren't seeing that continued sustained increase, which is what is measured by those indicators that turn us red and purple. So we had a couple of cases throughout our sports programs in the fall and into winter with basketball and stuff and cheerleading, and we didn't know of any spread. But I continue to be concerned, and this is my same concern with us being in school in general. When the health department recommends that we continue this, they're basing it based on no evidence or low evidence of transmission between like students and staff. But my concern continues to be that we know, based on the CDC's information, their projection is that approximately 40% of people are asymptomatic. And with kids being less likely to have severe symptoms in general, on top of the 40% being asymptomatic, we really don't know. And with transmission as high as it is in our community, we just assume, as we have to, that transmission happens at home or in a school or whatever. And we have contract tracing, but we know that it's backed up and that it's overloaded and there's not enough employees to run it effectively. So all of these things put together, I think, our kids' education is obviously the number one priority. And we want to get as many kids, safely in school as we can. I think we should consider, looking at the younger kids first when possible. since they, we know that families struggle with keeping, providing a safe environment for them. But with sports, I struggle to think that kids can be wrestling, and I'm not trying to, just target wrestling, but it's just in my head, I just imagine the kids, literally on top of each other, but then not able to shake their hand at the end. It's like, it just doesn't seem like the right thing to do. So I am against it. And that concludes my speech. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Obert,
Hello, I respect your opinion. I'm going to vote for it.
thank you. Mr. Sewell,
I'm with Wally. I'm going to vote for it, Amber. Respect your opinions and comments immensely, but I just, as I stated earlier in the year, I'm just going to stand by what I said earlier in the year, that I believe it's a family decision. We give the option for the families to make the decisions as far as what they do, as far as going to school, participating after school. We all know it starts in the home first. I believe that they can get protection, some people in our schools, better than they may get and outside in their home and outside. I just want to be able to provide the service for leadership within our coaching staffs. And I have a firm belief in that. I know that I was around it a lot myself. I don't think there was a lot of transmission. And athletics itself in general, in competition. I think this is a health issue in many different ways. It's mental health, as far as I'm concerned. Like I said, it starts with the family. And then after that, I believe it's up to us to be able to give them the option to be able to do what we can safely provide for them to do. And I'm going to vote yes as well.
okay, thank you. Mr. Dahmer,
Just kind of like Wally and Jeff both did. I want to, fully give respect to Amber for her comments on that. I do want to let everybody know that, we do reserve the right to pull back any type of sporting activity that is out there if we do notice that cases are continuing to go up. I want to give respect to the athletes that are there to where they can get to practice and hopefully be able to compete at some point again. So I will vote yes at this time.
Mrs. Clark,
No.
and Mr. Shooting.
Yes. Okay, where are we at? Section 11, personnel. We have 2 items.
3 items.
Okay. Let me check. On section 11, we have 3 items.
Yes.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I'd like to make a couple of comments. I know Mr. Tyler had spoke up and Mr. Nate Collins leaving. I hate to see this loss to our district. He's been a positive role model, I know, to many Hamilton students over the years. I truly respect the man. I hate to see him go, but he has his own decisions to make in his life, and he chose to do that. So I just wanted to thank him personally for his input to Hamilton. I won't ever forget some of his graduation speeches. So good luck to him and to everybody else in this category. That's all I have, Mr. Shooty.
Okay, thank you. Call the roll.
Mr. Obert,
Yes.
Mr. Sewell,
Yes.
Mr. Dahmer,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
and Mr. Shooting.
Yes. Section 12, personnel, we have 3 items. I counted right that time, huh? Okay, 3 items.
There you go.
Need a motion?
Need a motion.
Yeah.
So be.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
No, I just wish Roger a long and happy retirement. Well, I don't know how Pam's going to handle that, but I wish him the best.
Same way our wives do, Rolly. Same way our.
Yeah, I hope yours does better than mine. Yeah. But yeah, I'm going to miss Roger. That's all my comments.
Okay.
Yeah, I would like to echo Wally. I'm gonna thank that Mr. Tyler said I wanted to thank him for all his loyalty to the community. He's a lifelong community member. He went to Hamilton himself. I appreciate everything he's done for the community and for the help he's given around the district. Good luck to him, and like Wally said, happy and long retirement to him. And Gregory Jankowski, good luck to him as he moves forward. I think he's jumping on one of our E's, as I understand.
Yeah.
And good luck to him as well.
Talked to his mom today. He's due to show up, I believe, Christmas Day in Paris Island. So
Oh,
we go.
wow.
Yeah, I just found that out today myself. So good luck to him.
the brave.
Yeah, yeah, same here. I didn't realize what he was doing. Yeah, good luck.
Mhm.
Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, call the roll.
Mr. Obert,
Yes.
Mr. Sewell,
Yes.
Mr. Donner,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mr. Shooty.
Yes. Section 13, we have any tabled items?
No, we do not.
I don't see any use for executive session. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion made.
Second.
Any questions or comments?
Hey, everybody, have a Merry Christmas and a safe New Year's.
Yes, everybody, yes.
Okay, call roll.
Mr. Obert,
Yes.
Mr. Sewell,
Yes.
Mr. Donner,
Yes.
Mrs. Clark,
Yes.
Mr. Shooty.
Yes.
6:33 PM.
6:33.